Welcome to GNT, your one-stop shop for gaming news and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon.
Today we're going to start out with an ex-Burnout dev tweeted that they're working on a new game, which I was kind of excited about. I always loved the Burnout games.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. It seems like too many games these days are going realistic, so to have a game that's, fun like that, it's almost like the DLC for GTA, the extreme races that they added with the Cunning Stunts DLC. Adds a lot of replayability to the game because it's just a little bit different from the norm. And the Burnout games were a lot of fun because they had a lot of different modes where you could see how much destruction you could cause, and that was a game where you'd have a lot of fun watching kind of the game physics take control and watching your car do all sorts of tumbles and barrel rolls and going through semis and catching on fire and all that good stuff.
And wasn't that the one that it was like a movie set or something and you had to go through and get his... I don't remember.
No, that was Driver.
Oh, that was a different game?
There was Driver, and then there was, I think, one called Stuntman.
Oh, okay.
But no, the Burnout games were just very... They had races, and you would crash other cars, and that was kind of part of it, and, to get to the race to the finish line. But then they also had the other modes where, it was to try to create as much damage as possible.
I think that's what I was thinking of, yeah. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Now they couldn't call it Burnout because they don't work for that production company anymore, I think, but hopefully it'll be a similar game to that. And then they came out and said if you pre-order Rise of the Tomb Raider for PS4, you get Tomb Raider the Definitive Edition for free, which is kind of an interesting deal if you have a PS4 and obviously you haven't played Rise of the Tomb Raider yet. Kind of a cool deal you can get.
Yeah, unfortunately, with it being a Xbox exclusive for so long, I don't know if there's enough buzz out there for PS4 owners to want to get it, especially going into the prime gaming season where you have a lot of big-name games coming out for each console. PS4 has No Man's Sky, they have Deus Ex, they have Call of Duties, it's bad timing for Rise of the Tomb Raider to come out.
Yeah, I agree.
On that console.
One cool thing was it will support VR for a new narrative-centered single-player mode called Blood Ties. So if you have the PS4 VR and you're looking for a game, this might be a good one for it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they added that.
I am too.
I believe the PS4 VR does come out till October, so kind of getting the VR content out there before it's released.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I mean, it's gonna build hype for the PS4 VR, but like I said, I don't know how many people are gonna be going out and buying this game, so it's probably not enough for somebody to say, well, I really want that game, and then I want to get the VR headset so I can play this small portion of the game in VR.
Yeah.
They're going to have to bring a lot to the plate for a lot of people who've spent, probably $400 on their console originally to spend another $400 on the VR headset. Especially whenever VR's in its infancy, it hasn't really gotten to the full-blown, games where you really feel like you could pay X amount of dollars and you have a complete game. It's still very much in a demo stage where games are clips of what a full game should be or could be.
Right. And moving on to Nintendo, there's a rumor, and this is all speculation at this point, but there's a rumor that the Nintendo NX might be a portable console. NVIDIA is supposedly providing the NX with a Tegra X1 processor, which is used in the NVIDIA Shield and Google's Pixel C tablet. So kind of hinting that it'll be a more portable console. And they were thinking that it might have a dock station that connects to a TV and detachable controllers. But then you'd also be able to take it on the go and play. Which I think is Nintendo maybe trying to make another bold move which I guess has worked out with the Wii. The Wii was big. It's kind of the first motion controlled console, first big one. But at the same time, I think just a more traditional console would work for them. Like, just make like another GameCube or something like that with, they never worried about having the best graphics like Xbox or PS4, but make it, more powerful and come out with some good games. I think it would do well, but...
Well, I think they see that they might have strong sales with their DS line, so maybe their logic there is that if they strengthen their portable game and then have it with the ability to play on the TV, that maybe they'll expand on that market with a lot of people playing on the go. I mean, on their cell phones. Maybe the thought of portable console that's maybe a little more powerful and can play some higher end games is might entice more people to purchase that over a home console.
Maybe.
I think, like you said, Nintendo never was really worried about the graphics, but at the same time, they've always been, since the Xbox came out and then the PlayStation, those two have been battling back and forth with, superiority as far as graphics and power.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's always kind of not taken a back seat, but always been, third runner-up as far as consoles. Now, not with the Wii. The Wii did very good, but it did good on the merit of the motion control and being interactive to a point.
Yeah.
Now that novelty's weared off a little bit, I think that they've trying to find another niche. I think the Wii U is basically just a better revised version of the Wii. Wasn't really a next-gen console as much as the Xbox One and the PS4. For them, I think this is a smart move. I think that their strength lies in the portable gaming, and I think that they need to kind of step up their game and really define themselves and maybe make that transition to just a portable gaming company.
Maybe.
Because, as it is right now, you have two big companies that don't solely rely on their consoles for revenue. Where, Nintendo makes games, but Nintendo's bread and butter is their console. So, at this point, you have, Sony and Microsoft who could stand alone on their own. But they do very well in the console game. So it's kind of, for Nintendo, they've got to make their moves strategically, and I'm anxious to see how this pays off for them.
What do you think? Do you think they should, try and make a more portable console, or do you think they should stick with the traditional? Let us know in the comments. Another interesting thing, though, is Breath of the Wild's trademark also include cartridges, which I don't know what that means. They were thinking maybe they were going to use cartridges again. I don't know. I don't really know why they would, but maybe they just threw it in there.
Well, if they are going with a portable console, SD cards could work as almost a cartridge, and with SD technology making the progressions as it is, they actually have more storage than your traditional Blu-ray disc. I was just reading that, I believe it was Samsung came out with a SD card that has the speed of a solid-state drive, which is pretty quick. So, with the technology going that route, cartridges doesn't seem like necessarily a bad thing. It seems like they could really, open themselves up. And SSD cards are really small, so whenever the GameCube came out, it had those small discs, and everybody kind of. But here you go again, where you could have an SSD card that could have more on it than a traditional Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Could be interesting to see where they go with this move.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I was seeing more of the traditional ones, but the DS, it does use those little cards, so I guess those would be considered cartridges. I don't know. And then with some more Pokemon Go news, Pokemon trackers such as Pokevision, which you can get on your phone, and then brings up like a map and shows you where all the Pokemon are. They've been becoming more popular. Guy I work with had one. He pulled it up the other night, and there was one nearby, so we went and got it. But Niantic CEO John Hank, I think that's how you say his name, spoke out against it, saying he's not a fan. Which right now there's a 3-step glitch, which happens to me. All the Pokemon, they're supposed to show you how many steps away they are, so you can track them and find them, but they just all show up as 3. And no matter how far you move, it's always 3, so you don't know where any of them are.
Right.
So I think they have to fix that. If they get that fixed and have a decent tracker in the game, then maybe we would see those go down. But it's kind of one of those things that people are always going to try to get around and to win the game.
Oh, yeah. On a side note, Pokemon Go related, I found it kind of funny that Nintendo stocks, which had went up drastically with the release of Pokemon Go, have started to fall because people realized that it wasn't a Nintendo game. It was made by Niantic. So, yeah, all these people invested a lot of money into Nintendo stocks, and Nintendo was riding high on that, but it really wasn't a Nintendo game. So now that realization has come in, I think that the stocks have come back to where they previously were, or they might have actually lost a little bit on that. So,
even with merchandise, so like, heck, we even bought some stuff just messing around with, and I've seen other people with Pokemon, merchandise now that game is being popular. So I'm sure I would think they were still making money.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still getting some revenue due to the game, but. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think they took a big hit. I think that the rise and fall of their stock, the way it happened, probably wasn't good in the long run. And I'm surprised that maybe they were just riding the high. Maybe they thought it was wise not to publicly say, "Hey, listen, this isn't our game." But maybe some Nintendo people that had stock made some money, knowing that the stocks weren't really getting high, and so they sold high, and they made some money before they went down. So,
and then the last thing, Elder Scrolls Legends beta came out. I got it this past week, and I started playing it, and overall, I really like it. At first, obviously, there was a lot coming with Hearthstone, kind of the same setup, but the campaign mode is really cool. You can actually pick your race, and then you get cards depending on that. And there are a lot of other little mechanics that really add to it. And so far, I've had a lot of fun with it. But
now this is a PC-only game?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Just wondered, because that might limit its...
I'm not positive. I'll check it, and then I'll put a note in the video if I'm wrong. But I think it's PC only.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing a review of that. Actually right after this, but that should be up this Wednesday, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested and see how the game is. We'll be playing it, so check that out.